Hello everyone! It took me a long time to get this video ready. And here it is, motal pendir. It's a soft vine-skinned cheese made from milk, which is produced in the countries of the Caucasus. Those of you who had never tried it will remember its salty taste. And those who hadn't, you definitely have to try it. It's not just tasty and healthy breakfast. You can eat it any time of a day and a year, especially in the summer, with a flatbread and a watermelon by the river, or in cold weather with hot tea and hot flatbread. Just try it once and you will remember its taste for the rest of your life. And today my mom and grandma are making it. I'm going to assist them. First of all, you need to get a skin of a goat or a sheep. While butchering an animal, its skin shouldn't be damaged. The torso must be closed. We'll make a goat skin out of it. So the skin must be washed properly. We have added a little bit of washing powder and washed it well. And then properly rinsed with water. It's more comfortable doing it outdoors, but we live in an apartment, so we make it indoors. It took me a long time to rinse the skin both sides, especially the woolly side. For it is the wool side which is going to be the inner side of our goat skin, in our motal, which we will fill with cheese. This will help us to get rid of villus and the smell of a skin in the cheese. After washing and rinsing, we will rinse out the skin and then salt it with a lot of coarse salt. Put the skin in a deep bowl. That's how looks the outer side. That's the side we need to salt properly. We will use coarse salt. Plenty of it. Then carefully turn the skin inside out to keep all the salt inside and close the bowl. And leave the skin to get brined for a few days in the balcony. A few days turned into 2 weeks, as a result of which we got rid of smell of a skin. This is how the skin looked after 2 weeks. Grandma wrings it out and turned inside out. Here it is, nice and clean, and ready for further processing. Now we need to close all open parts. Neck, feet and tail section. Narrow parts will be just loosely bound. As for the tail section, we'll make small cuts, the loops. Loops must be made in equal distance from skin edge and from each other. The further procedure will need man hands, therefore I asked my brother. Grandma likes to be precise in everything. Therefore, she cuts all rough edges of the skin. There we go, the last loop. Now we need to find a small piece of wood. Clean it and make it smooth and put into these loops, so its ends will be outside. Then insert the stick into first two loops, then next from the other side, and again next two loops, and continue until we get all the loops. And then we bundle all that and bind. That's where strong man hands came in handy. As for feet parts, we will string them tightly to make sure air doesn't come out. Now we need to pump the skin from the neck side. We will use a usual pump for that. Put the tube of a pump into the neck. Bind it tightly and pump the skin. Carefully take the tube out, holding the neck, and bind as tightly as possible. Then we hang the skin in the balcony for about 2-3 weeks. While getting dry, some part of the skin will become white. On the second day, the skin already started to change its color. Our goat skin gets hard. If it starts to deflate in a few days, don't worry, it's okay. The main goal is to make it dry out. While the skin gets dry in the balcony, we can start making the brinza cheese. I had already showed the process of making brinza on my channel, so today I will skip it. The leavening recipe is also on the channel. I will leave the link in the description. We will need a lot of brinza cheese to fill the goat skin up. Out of 10 liters of milk we get 1.5 kilo of cheese. I'll remind that we don't need to boil milk for brinza cheese. We just warm it up to the body temperature. Then add the leaven and put it in a warm place. When the mass gets solid, we make cuts. Close the lid and put it back in the warm place. When the mass is ready, we pour it into a sack or any other cloth. The rest of the liquid, the serum, we pour into other pan. When the rest of the serum flows down, we need to put the mass into a strainer. Close it with a lid or a plate and leave under a press. When the cheese is ready, turn it on the flat surface and cut into pieces. Salt it. Then put the cheese into a deep bowl or pan and keep it there until the goat skin is completely dry. Making 1.5 kilo of brinza cheese daily, we will amass the necessary quantity of cheese. Then into 1 liter of serum, we add half a tablespoon of salt. Stir it and pour onto the cheese just to cover the top. We'll keep the cheese in the serum not to let it spoil. Close the lid and move it away. Repeat the procedure every day. The goat skin is completely dry. But to fill it, we need to moisten the neck, as it's also dry. So dry that it's impossible to stretch it. Therefore, we put it into the bowl of water with its neck down. Meanwhile, we make cottage cheese mess. The cooking principle is the same as with the brinza cheese. Warm milk up to the room temperature. Mix the milk with the serum. I use the same serum as in the last video. We will fill the goat skin with 18 kilos of brinza cheese. But before that, we need to put it into the strainer to let all the liquid flow down. Now we untie the neck of the goat skin. Put about 500 grams salt into the 6-liter bottle with serum. Properly stir it and pour the serum into the goat skin. Rinse the inner side of the goat skin with the serum and pour it out. We put our cottage cheese mess into the sack. But do not decant all the liquid to reach a consistency of sour cream. Then we add this into the brinza cheese and mix all this. While Grandma is mixing the brinza cheese, my mom prepares a gauze sack, which will go into the goat skin with bottom down. It's the size of our goat skin. The top part of the sack is left outside in order to bind it after all. And now we tamp all the cheese into the sack. Then assemble the top part of the sack into a knot and bind it together with the neck of the goat skin. Cover that knot with film and bind again. Do the same with the rest of knots. As the brinza cheese was wet and we had rinsed the goat skin with serum, we need to dry the mortar again. We'll leave it in the balcony until it gets completely dry. Meanwhile, the cheese inside will get fermented. About 3 weeks have passed, and I believe the cheese is ready to use. So we can get small portions out and try it. Get necessary amount and close the goat skin back. Now this is the cheese we have. Crumbly and delicious. This goat skin will be enough for the whole winter. And not just for us, but also for our friends. Actually, the making process is not that difficult. Making goat skin takes most of the time, but it's worth it. Azerbaijanis call this cheese motal pendir. Motal for goat skin, pendir for cheese. That's very delicious. Even children like it. That's all for today. I hope you found this video interesting and liked it. If so, please like the video and follow the channel. Bye everyone and take care.